So, welcome everyone. We're so glad you could join us today. I know for many, the idea of pursuing further education can feel out of reach because of financial concerns. There's a common myth that financial aid isn't for everyone, that you either don't qualify for financial aid or you somehow are to make or you somehow manage to pay out of pocket. The reality is that many students don't realize how much support is available and how it can transform the way you approach your education. In today's webinar, we'll show you practical, accessible ways to afford your education, whether it's Alberta Student Aid or other financial resources. We're here to help you explore every opportunity. So let's get started and show you how you can make your education a reality. Okay. First, we'll start with a land acknowledgement. Career City College respectfully acknowledges that our Kelowna campus is located on the traditional and unceded territory of the Syilx Okanagan people. So, webinar topics that we're going to focus on today will start with an introduction to student aid, government student loans and grants, scholarships and bursaries, other forms of financial aid, managing finances as a student, and then we'll have a short question and answer session. So please make sure to use the question and answer box at the bottom of the screen, and we will be happy to help you. So we are excited about Alberta Student Aid and how it can truly lighten the load for students in Alberta. We all know how overwhelming the cost of education can feel, but Alberta Student Aid takes that pressure off, giving you the chance to focus on your dreams rather than just your budget. It's not just about paying for school, it's about opening doors to new opportunities, helping you stay focused on what really matters, building your future. Let me show you how this support can make a real difference in your journey. So my name is Lisa. I'm one of the financial aid officers at Career City College. And I'm joined with my colleague, Tamara, who is a career advisor. I've been doing financial aid for students, helping them figure out the best payment option for them for about 7 years now. And Tamara has been here for a while as well, helping our students too. So we'll start right away and we'll get going. But first, we will start with a poll question. How familiar are you with the student loan process in Alberta? So one answer, very familiar, somewhat familiar, not familiar at all. We got all our answers in, so there's somewhat familiar and not familiar at all. So this is a great webinar that will help you get started and answer those questions for you. Here we go. So we'll start with government student loans and grants. The federal loan and the provincial loan, they work in tandem together. So the federal loan, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, the Canada Student Loans Program and Canada Students Grants. The federal government has gotten rid of interest. So when it's time to repay your federal loans, you don't have to worry about paying anything back for the grant at all. And it's interest-free for the loan portion. So the provincial program is what we're here for. It's the Student Aid Alberta, Student Aid Alberta loans. It's provincial funding that helps students manage the cost of the program through loans. And they use a formula to find out how much funding you're eligible for. And they're looking at the educational cost of the program minus student resources. That equals your financial need. So student loans for Alberta are interest-free while you're in school. Pardon me, both loans are interest-free while you're in school. The grants are yours to keep, and the interest doesn't start for Alberta student loans 12 months after you finish school. So it's really helpful in getting you on your feet and finding a job after you graduate from school. So I'm going to leave you with another poll question. Are you familiar with My Alberta digital verification? Awesome. So there's a few people who are familiar and some who are not. So we'll go over the explanation of how the digital ID is an important step to starting your student aid application. So to be eligible for student aid in Alberta, you need to have a valid social insurance number, be either a Canadian citizen, protected person, or permanent resident. And there is a residency requirement that you have to live in Alberta for 12 consecutive months prior to starting school. However, if it is the last province you've lived in, you can still apply for student aid. So My Alberta Digital ID It's a really good resource and tool to have because it allows you to have access to other government online services as well. So most people have their Alberta digital ID, but if you don't, we will assist you in setting that up. We would schedule an appointment over Zoom and walk you through the steps. So the first step in doing this is to make sure that it's to ensure your identity is safe. So when you enter your personal information, you're going to enter your name, last name, address. You want to make sure that your address matches with your driver's license or your ID card because they're going to mail the verification code to you in 10 business days. That's the normal process for how it's done. However, Alberta has made it easier, and as of July of this year, you're able to get your verification code through text messaging. The only thing that it has to be is if your phone number is not registered to receive text messages, you'll go down to the Alberta registry and you can set that up. So it makes it a lot easier and you don't have to worry about the mail. It comes to text message. And again, whatever, it's a helpful resource to have, not just for applying for student aid, but for accessing all government services in Alberta. So when you apply for student aid, they're going to ask you a few different questions. They're going to look at your marital status, dependent children for personal information. They're going to look at the program information, educational costs and resources. And they're also, depending if you're married, they're going to look at your spouse information as well. And they're going to look at your yearly gross income from 2023 to determine how much funding you're eligible for. I know with some cases, some students are not going to be making the same amount of money that they do in 2023. So they take that into consideration as well to assist you. And then there's other forms of financial aid. The good thing about Alberta Student Aid, though, is when you apply for Alberta Provincial Aid, your application is assessed for all the federal grants, all the provincial grants, and federal loans at the same time. So you don't have to do separate applications trying to figure out which is how to proceed with the financial information. And then we have other forms of financial aid for students who are not interested in getting a student loan. Sometimes they want to pay out of pocket. They have other resources that are available to them. So there are scholarships and bursaries available for Alberta student aid students. If you go to the website, you'll see all the bursaries, all the scholarships that are available to you. There's many to choose from, and it's based on your needs, and they have it categorized in different areas as well. Another option that our students will use is tapping into their savings with their registered retirement savings plan. You can take up to $10,000 per year. It's called a lifelong learning plan that you can access that as well. Sometimes our students have registered education savings plan that their parents or their grandparents have set up for them, and that's another resource that can use as well. There's also student lines of credit that you can get through your bank. Sometimes you already have a line of credit with your bank and you can simply switch it over to a student line of credit. You would go to your bank, set an appointment, and they would be happy to help you. Career City College has also partnered with two other companies as well. One is called Gratify. They will help with your loan as well. And there's also Windmill Micro Lending. A lot of our students who receive their education outside of Canada will use the support of Windmill Micro Lending as well. Another option that you can look into is employer funding. Sometimes your employer, if you speak with the HR, they will happily fund either the full portion of your program or partial cost of your program as well. And then for Indigenous students, we have a strong relationship with bands in Alberta, and we're happy to work alongside with them in helping you set up your education funding. Easy. Well, absolutely. If you send us our contact information, we will set up appointments with all of you to get that set up as well. And then we have payment plans. Our payment plans are flexible, monthly payments plans. There's no interest on them, and we can happily set up an appointment to discuss how Alberta Student Aid works in more detail, as well as the other forms of financial aid that are available to you as well. So I'll open up another poll question. Okay. Which type of financial assistance do you prefer? Government loans, Student Aid Alberta, private loans, student line of credit, grants and scholarships like band funding, employer sponsorship or support, or all of the above?
Pretty equal.
I think, yep, it is pretty equal. So yeah, so a lot of lots of information looking into government loans, band funding, and all the above. We'll be happy to assist you in setting up an appointment with myself or anyone on the financial aid team to go over all the options that are best for you. Right. Budgeting and financial literacy, tools and resources for managing expenses. We all know how hard it is to think of the future and plan for the future. And there's so many tools on the student aid website for Alberta that can help you have worksheets to plug in your numbers for expenses and your income coming in, monthly calendars as well. There's also a website called the National Student Loan Service Center as well. You can set up your information there to see not only the budget for starting school, but also the repayment part as well. So you can absolutely look into those resources, plan accordingly, very helpful. And we can also, again, set up an appointment and we can help you budget as well to figure out how your monthly payments will be. If you need to do a payment plan, we want you to succeed. So we're here to help you every step of the way. And we can send you an email after the webinar explaining where those tools and resources and how to find them as well. All right. So I'm going to pass this over to Tamara, our career advisor. She is going to give you a brief explanation of how the admissions process is, and then we'll go from there. Over to you, Tamara.
Thank you, Lisa. Hi,
You're welcome.
everyone. My name is Tamara, and I am a career advisor here at Career City College. My role here is to help you explore all of our programs and choose the one that best aligns with all of your career goals. When we meet, we'll talk about everything from choosing the right program and selecting the best start date to completing your application, including any admission requirements, such as providing a high school diploma or completing the admissions education assessment. Once we've selected the best program for you, I'll set you up with our finance team, people such as Lisa, to go over the financial options that are available to you. I'm here to guide you through each step of the process and to make sure that you have all the support that you need to move forward confidently. I look forward to seeing you all in school and meeting all of you one day. So I think that maybe we should get over to some questions now that Lisa and I can answer. So let's just see if what kind of questions that you all have for us, and we'll do our best to answer those. Okay, so one question here says, I'm excited to get started. I moved from BC to Alberta in July. Would I be able to apply for student aid loans? That looks like a question for you, Lisa.
All right, awesome. So absolutely, you can apply for student aid. We wouldn't be applying for Alberta just because you haven't lived there for the past 12 months. So we would be applying for a BC student aid application, which is very normal and very easy to do. So we'd have an appointment, we'd go over your eligibility requirements, in more detail, and then we would go over how the student aid works, and then we would schedule an appointment. Our final appointment would be on Zoom. We like to do all our student aid applications on Zoom to make sure that you can share your screen so there's no mistakes on the application, because if you get all the information in as soon as possible, you get a faster processing and approval time. So we want to make sure that we're there every step of the way to assist you in scheduling that appointment, but we can absolutely do a BC student aid application. You would either set up an appointment with myself or one of my team members, and we'd be happy to assist you in getting that done.
Awesome. Awesome. That's great. Um, I have another question here that says, I am from the Philippines. I am a PR now, have my master's in nursing. Can I use my transcripts for admissions? Well, that looks like one that may be for me here, so I will answer that question, Lisa.
Thank
Um,
you.
Yeah, so if you're here and you have your PR, yes, you and you have a master's in nursing, which is obvious first of all, amazing. So that never goes unnoticed here at Career City College as well, that you come over here and you already have a master's degree. That's amazing. So yes, you can use your nursing transcripts if they have been assessed and put into Canadian equivalency. So we do have something called the World Education Document or Services Document, and you can use this for your admissions if you have one of those and have had your education um, assessed. Here's another question. I have 3 young kids and I'm a single mom. Can I work full time and still be successful?
That's
Well,
a good
that
one for
sounds
you, Tam.
sounds like another one for me. Listening to that somebody has 3 young kids is quite common, mostly 2 to 3 kids, full-time mom, working extremely busy. It's quite common here at Career City College for our students. Um, yes, you can still work full-time and be successful. We've had many graduates who have. Career City College believes in setting our students up to be successful in the beginning. So we would encourage you that as long as that you have 20 extra hours a week, our study times are flexible. You are able to put that 20 hours a week in. However you choose, there's no day or time that you are required to be online. So as long as at the end of 7 days you've studied for 20 hours in your week, you will have absolutely perfect attendance. So also when you begin your program, instructors will work very hard with you to help you set you up for some scholastic success. They will give you some study tips and they will work with you in order to help you make that study schedule up so that you don't feel overwhelmed. Oh, here's another one. This one's for you, Lisa.
Ah,
I just
awesome.
migrated to Calgary from India. Can I apply for a student loan?
Absolutely. As long as you have a valid social insurance number, you can be a Canadian citizen, protected person, or permanent resident. So one of the first things we would do is schedule an appointment to go over your financial aid options. And so if it sometimes you may not want student aid, we can go over the other financial resources that are available to you as well. And then after that, if you decide that you want to do a student aid application, again, we would set up an appointment on Zoom to get that started for you. Um, but we are missing an important step. You want to definitely reach out to one of our career advisors like Tamara to get sorted on what program you want to take.
Absolutely. That's the most important thing to figure out what you figure out what you want to do.
Yep.
Um, so I have one more question here that oh no, I have a few more. What if you
Okay.
have student loans already and have gone to collections?
Ah, so we can help you with that because you want to have your account in good standing. So what we would do is you would call the National Student Loan Service Center. You'd ask them, you know, you would just let them know that you're looking to return to school and what are the steps that you need to take. Sometimes you just have to make a small interest payment, but they'll get you in the right steps and to get that sorted out. Sometimes you may not owe money. You think you do, but you just haven't logged into your National Student Loan Service account to make sure that it's confirmed that you actually do owe money. And then we would get that started for you. But very easy. First call, we would set up that information for you to get in touch with the National Student Loan Service Center, make sure that your account's in good standing. You just want to let them know that you are planning to return to school, what those steps are, if any, and then we'd go from there.
That's awesome, Lisa. Great.
Thank you.
So, I guess we'll just go back over to you now, Lisa. I
All
think that
right.
we've answered most of these questions, or there's a few duplicates here, so we won't worry about those right now. So back over to you.
All right. I'm going to launch a poll question. Are you interested in a personal one-on-one session with a financial aid officer or a career advisor? Answers are yes, no, Maybe I need more information.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's amazing. We are looking forward to setting up those appointments. We absolutely want to hear from you to get started on your educational journey. So, thank you for attending the webinar. We hope that we were able to answer all your questions, provide you with the information, and our contact information is on the page right here. So you can get started, reach out to us by phone call, email. We'll be happy to assist you in giving you some more information to help you succeed in your program.
Thank you, everybody, for attending today.
Thank
Um,
you.
we do look forward to assisting you further. We would love to meet each and every one of you and have a conversation because that's where it all begins. Have a good day, everybody.
Take care.